I'm Elisa and I am the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I wanted to show you how I plan on working through Big Story Part 1 and Part 2 this summer. I am changing up how I'm going to journal and how I'm going to memory keep and how I'm going to do all the things this summer. I want to streamline things and simplify so that I can focus on my family, focus on having fun, and maybe spend a little bit less time in the craft room. And the way I'm going to be doing that is using this Crafty Club playbook. This is from the Reset Girl, and I tried it for the first time this spring. Loved it. It is full of all kinds of fun activities that I really enjoy. I love the setup of it, and I'm going to keep all of my crafting. The plan is to keep all my crafting within this disc-bound notebook. So I have the Happy Planner hole punch, which I'll make sure to link down below, and the discs right here. And I've already printed out my playbook. I'm still working on getting it set up, but I'm going to be journaling, doing my faith journaling within my playbook. So I've I've cut up some extra cardstock to the appropriate size and hole punched it so it's ready to go. I haven't decided yet if I will break apart the devotionals and hole punch those and just stick them right in. I'm still kind of toying with that, but I thought I would go ahead and set up a few of the pages in here so that it would be ready to go. I am still working through the Arise devotional, and if that is you, I want to encourage you to just continue working through the devotional you are in. Don't feel like you have to rush to start the next one. They come out every month. Sometimes it can be overwhelming to try to keep up, and I don't want to rush God's word. So I'm going to take my time, finish Arise, but I thought I would get a jump on just setting up for Big Story. That way, when I'm ready to jump into it, it is also ready to go. So I will put you all on fast forward. I have all of my supplies right here. This is a container that I got from Target, I believe last year, maybe the year before, that you got for like $5 when you bought a certain number of Band-Aids or something like that. So if I can find this online, I will link it down below. Otherwise, just check out Target to see if they have that deal. I have all of my supplies that came with the kit. I have some stencils pulled, and I'm just going to do a little bit of setup on the pages. Let's go. Okay, as I get going here on the first page, one of the things that I really enjoyed this spring was being able to take my Crafty Club playbook out on the deck with me and to be able to craft kind of on the go. I mean, we weren't really on the go, but being able to be outside. And that's one of my goals for this summer. So that's why I kind of wanted to consolidate a lot of my crafty projects into this for the summer, just because I know that my kids will be home and I know that we will hopefully be outside and be active. And I just want to be able to be with them, but also be able to do something that I love. So that is my plan right here. All right, what I am doing is matting the title card that was actually in the pouch that came with Big Story, and I'm double matting it using this paper. I'll have to link it down below. I'm not sure, this might be Amy Tangerine, or I'll have to look. I got this from Hip Kit Club, so I just thought it was super pretty. So pulling that out, and I'm going to pull out a white doily just to add a little bit more flair here at the bottom. I plan to use like all of the sewing elements for this particular devotional. It is going to have lots of little details, and I love this book that I'm able to try some things that I can't do in my Bible. So I can add a little bulk. I can always get bigger disc for the Happy Planner just to expand this a little more. I'm pretty sure I will have to by the end of the summer, but I'm just enjoying going through my stash and playing with color and getting this kind of set up ready to go. I'll adhere this little title card. This is one of the divider pages that comes with the Crafty Club playbook. I'm going to adhere it right here and then take it over to my sewing machine to add a little bit of stitch detail there at the bottom. It might sound weird, but I'm actually a huge fan of the strings kind of hanging off, so I don't cut them too close in the front. I like it hanging off of my book, but that'll be my title page. Now I'm on the back of it, and I'm going to make an intentions page, which I have done the past couple of devotionals and really liked it, kind of setting my heart before I start studying. So here I have, I'm not really sure where the stencil came from. I feel like it might be Jane Davenport, but not totally sure. Some Distress Oxide ink that I'm just going to lay down a little bit of background, and then like I said before, all the stitching details. So I pick up my jelly roll pen, and it's hard to see on here, but I'm adding a little white stitch detail all around the edge of those circles just for some added interest here. And I think it just adds a special little touch. I like those little touches. I like those little details when I'm working, and I like that it's already going to be set up on the page for me, ready to go. This stamp set comes with a million smaller stamps, and I really like this double stitch pattern, and I'm actually going to do it around the whole edge of my page, again for more texture. I like the sizing of the stamps this time. I know some people really like the larger stamps, make a big impact, but I like that you can use these smaller stamps in a lot of different ways to make art marks and things like that. So I have this extra doily that I was using on the front that I cut, and I'm going to use it again on the back just to try to use up that scrap so it's not laying around. And I pulled out the Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink because I just wanted it to stand out a little bit more on the bottom of the page, so that yellow will certainly do the trick, trimming it off just a bit more. And when I stitched the paper on the front, it obviously went through to the back like stitching does. And so I'm going to cover up the bottom stitch, but the top one there I'm going to use as kind of an underline for my title. So I make sure my doily doesn't cover it up all the way. I just have to trim it off here at the bottom. And then that stitch pattern that kind of went through to the other side, I'll be able to use as the basis for my title for this page. There are a ton of fun ephemera pieces with this kit. I am loving them. I think they're so cute, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. I end up going for those blue scissors, and then I'm going to use the alpha stickers that came in the kit to title this page, which is going to be Intention, and I will leave myself a little room to journal. That way, when I'm ready to sit down, like I said, I'm still working on a rise, and I don't want to rush and feel like I'm behind on that kit or rush through the end. So I'm just going to take my time. I pull out one of the journaling pieces, and then of course more sewing detail. I have my string right there ready to go. I'm going to adhere down the journaling piece so I can write my intentions, and then just take a couple fingers, knot up some string right here, and I'll include it as an element underneath where that the scissor piece will go, just as another fun little sewing element. I think it's awesome. Jillian says she's not a quilter, that this is not her style, but it's so fun to pretend, and that's totally me. Like, I cannot sew, it's not my thing, but I like to pretend. I wish I could. I think it would be a ton of fun. I love quilts. I think they're pretty, so I like playing with these elements, even though I'm not really a seamstress of any kind of sort. The next page that I'm working on is going to be where I can take notes on the first devotional, and I'm using some of these stamp elements to create my own quilt, and I am super excited about playing with all the colors and all the patterns with these particular stamps. So I start with this blue. I use, let's see, that's the Chip Sapphire and then the Spun Sugar, which are both colors that are kind of picked up in the kit, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of a quilting pattern. You can see just going back and forth with those, and then I'm going to actually come back and fill in with different colors. So I have the basis of the pattern right here, and then they have this kind of inner piece that fits where you see the white. So I'm going to come back in and fill in some of those spots. I feel like this is going to be such a fun set to play with, to make all of the quilted things, to play with different color combinations. I'm bringing in the peacock feathers because I just love it. Love those three colors together, and it's just going to add a little bit of detail to my page, to the bottom, and then I flip the page over. This is going to be kind of towards the top, and I follow the same idea, but when I go to do the inner part, I get my colors a little bit mixed up, and so I actually end up with a different pattern on the top than on the bottom. That was not intentional. I had actually intended to do the same pattern, but things happen. I was enjoying stamping away and realized, oops, I stamped the wrong color in the blue, but that's okay. Same three colors, just a little bit different of a pattern. Next, I pull out the Top Knots Alpha set, and this came out with the Arise kit at the same time, and I'm not sure if it has been restocked, but it's a 6x8 stamp set, so it's really large, and it's going to serve to make a really impactful title. And the title of the first part of the devotional is The Plot. And when you're setting up your pages before you read, you just want to make sure you include some of the main things. The title of that passage, a place for notes, a place to write verses down. You don't want to go and fill up too much of the art because you don't know where your heart is going to be at yet. So I like to just add a few elements on the page that gives me a chance to have a jumping off point for when I'm ready to jump in and take notes, and I get a chance to play with the supplies, but I'm not necessarily committed to any specific theme, I guess you would say. So I have a couple more of the elements here. I'm going to staple these two together right here, and I'm actually going to use this piece and make it like a pocket. So I'm thinking that I will be able to write verses or a prayer in that pocket. So I still have a lot of white space on my page that I can take notes, but I'm going to create a little tag here. It'll be a tall, skinny tag that I will be able to put in that little ephemera pocket, and it can be anything I want it to be, actually. So a verse, a prayer, some extra notes, some private thoughts, anything like that. So I'm just going to trim it down, and then I will round off the corners. It won't be, you know, classic tag shaped. It'll be slightly different, but fun nonetheless. Once I get that tag finished, then this page is pretty much done. So I've set up a couple of pages ready to go. I might play more this coming weekend to start to get it set up. I'm trying to finish Arise. Hopefully I'll be finished by June 1st to start Big Story Part 1, but if not, that's okay. I'm going to give myself a little grace and let myself enjoy the devotion I'm on, and then this will be waiting for me when I'm ready to go. I know this summer might look a little bit different than summers in the past, but I would love to hear if you change up your journaling during the summer or the type of craft projects you do. I'm excited to see if this works for me, if this makes all my projects kind of come together as one. Okay, so here are my first few pages. I put the title card right in here, added the little doily, and of course, lots of little sewing pieces going with the theme of how the whole story of the Bible is sewn together. This will be my intentions page where I will set my prayer and intention before jumping in. I was able to add in this little piece, which is the thank you note from Shauna Noel, and then I might add something else to this, create a pocket or some sort like that. Then I have this page, which is the plot in the beginning. So this is even before the journaling prompts, but I'll be able to take notes on the devotional and keep it right here, and then I can just add on, and I can use scrapbook paper, I can use this white paper, I can do a lot of different things, and I'm excited to try journaling in this way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have all the supplies linked down below, as well as a link to join my email newsletter that goes out every couple of weeks. So make sure to check that out. I hope you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.